What do I do with extra ephemera, and are there uses for it other than layering or collaging? Well, today I'm going to show you 3 best uses of ephemera that does not include layering or collaging, and I will give you 3 examples of that today. If you're new to my channel, my name is Christine, and we are in a series called The Sage Collection, which is a compilation of videos that shows you how to set up your scrapbook journal for the year using stamps, ephemera, tags, pockets, and mini albums. If you're interested in this type of aesthetic, or if you want just tips on how to set up your own scrapbook journal, or even tips on how to design cards, then you will want to check out these tutorials that I'll link at the end of this video. But for now, let's focus on the ephemera. Okay, so here are some of the ephemera that's left over from the journal. The first thing we're going to do is make a paper clip out of these 2 pieces of ephemera. What you want to do is grab a paper clip, and what you'll want to do is measure out 2 strips of paper that are a little longer than these pieces of ephemera, and maybe a little thinner than the actual tag itself. So here I'm cutting maybe 1/4 of an inch in thickness, and I'm cutting 2 pieces. What you want to do is take your paper clip and just slide it over one of the pieces of paper, turn it over, and then fold the piece of paper. Once you've done that, you'll want to adhere the paper clip to the paper and then just cut the excess off. Now you take your other piece of paper and you slide that under the paper clip like so. Okay, and then you just fold that over and adhere that side to the paper clip. Then what I'm going to do is just fold that over one more time. Make sure that that dries. Now you have your 2 pieces of ephemera here. You don't have to use the same ephemera. You can use 2 different ones, but in this case I'm going to use the same ones. You'll see this is the paper clip that you're seeing where my finger is. You want to make sure that you don't put this double-sided adhesive past that area. And I like using double-sided adhesive here because the paper clip, you're going to be pulling it in and out, and you just want to make sure that everything is secure. So I like using the double-sided adhesive here. Do you see how it doesn't extend beyond my finger? Because right there, that's your actual paper clip. So now you have one of 2 options here. You can put the paper clip right at the top so that it sinks perfectly into the book, or what I like to do is have my tags sticking out of the top of my album or of my journal. So I'm going to position this a little lower and you'll see why. You can put adhesive there, but I won't. That to me is just perfectly fine, just like that. And as always, I like to ink the edges, just drawing the eye inwards. Another technique that we go through in our ephemera and stamping techniques. And I always like adding different elements, and one of the things that I came across was this beautiful metal ephemera from Tim Holtz, and if you can get your hands on this, I think they're selling out fast. I think I bought like a couple of packages because I'm a butterfly queen. I love butterflies. So put that on there, and I love to make sure that my butterflies pop, so I always have some gem on it. It's like matching shoes. I'm like, which one goes best with this? Here is your well-crafted paper clip. Again, you just slip it in there and you have 2 paper clips inside. There you go. There's that one side. And you see how that's why I placed it a little lower, the actual paper clips, so that would actually stick out. And the great thing is on the other side, it's beautiful. You have the other side of the paper clip, which has an image on it as well. If you're receiving value from this video, make sure you stamp the like button so it can spread to the rest of our crafting community. Thank you. The next project we're going through is this whole idea of using ephemera on envelopes. And if you haven't seen my last video on how to produce a closure for envelopes, that one is really good and so easy. So make sure you check that one out. I'll leave a link at the end of this video for that closure that you can make for your envelopes. So first thing you want to do is grab an envelope, and I usually ink it because I like to match the envelope to the card that I'm sending, and then any smaller pieces of ephemera that you haven't used. This by far is the best punch. If you can get this punch, please grab it, but it is hard to find. I like using it for my stamps. And then there's this stamp, which I will link at the bottom, which I find is great as well. But if you have extra ephemera lying around, why waste those images? I like to use them as stamps. And you could use any of those butterflies, fussy cut them, whatever you want, but I found this one here. I'll just put that on. So there it is. There's another example of using ephemera that doesn't include layering or collaging. And it's a different way of using it. Now your third technique, or the third way to use ephemera, is quite neat. I'm going to make just a little pocket flap right here. You'll need to cut out 2 strips of paper. And what we're going to use is this piece of ephemera here will act as a little belt buckle for this ephemera here. And because we're going to be using this as a closure, I'm going to reinforce it by putting it on more cardstock and then fussy cutting around it just to make it stronger. I'm just going to take an eyelet and put a hole in the top of the, I guess it's a mushroom. Looks a little phallic, I'm so sorry. But we're still gonna use it. I'm going to use that. Yeah, just put a hole at the top, and then here I'm just using some brads to secure this one little mini ephemera in place. What you want to do with those 2 pieces of paper that we had cut out earlier is I'm going to actually make just little holders in the album or in this pocket. And yeah, you can just slip some photos in there. You don't even have to have the pockets, but I liked it because it covered up the brads that were sticking through. And then there are these great chains that I collect. Find it, and I never throw it out, because I know I'm going to use it for my crafting. So here it is. There's your little mini closure for your little pocket tag or your little pocket. So I hope you liked this video. I really enjoyed trying to figure out other ways of using ephemera. Until we meet again, take care and we'll see you soon. Bye. And then 2 strips of paper.